Knock, knock. Who's there? Doctor. Doctor Who. As much as I loved that episode about pineapple on pizza, I want to talk about a specific thing that really, really annoys me. And this not might be a very popular opinion, but I think the majority of sitcoms are absolute dog shit. And I'll explain why. Now, the general formula for sitcoms, as far as I can tell, is you take a group of lovable misfits who all have unique sort of character traits or character stereotypes, really. There's always the stupid attractive one. There's always the nerdy doesn't get the girl one. There's the stupid but funny one. There's the really sort of head screwed on uptight one. And there might be another stupid one. I'm obviously describing the cast of Friends. Now, this formula isn't always exactly the same, you know. There's sometimes variations. You get people like in The Big Bang Theory, and those sort of same character traits are sort of copied, but just for really, really smart people. Except for Penny, who doesn't even get a second name, which is just very strange. She doesn't have a second name as a character. Just the writers forgot about that, I guess. Now, the way this formula tends to play out is that the lovable misfits go through many sort of trials and tribulations, and it's always funny, and there's, you know, very outdated sort of outlooks in these sitcoms, but in one way or another they always end up really sort of grown up adults by the end of it, and they're very mature and they're very wise. And I would argue that most people don't change, really. If you get someone who's an arsehole, they're generally an arsehole for the majority of the time that they're on this planet. Now, I don't think all sitcoms are as bad as that. You do get some good ones, like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, who completely rejects this idea of you know, becoming better people. And the majority of their cast are horrible psychopaths who don't change, who don't ever come to these moral conclusions that you just need to be better people in order to go through life, you know? And there's another thing. Most of these sitcoms, they always have a sort of very unrealistic sort of way that people look, you know? And It's Always Sunny, they sort of play about with that idea, you know, people in sitcoms, they don't tend to put on weight or anything like that. There's one character in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia called Mac, who I don't know what season it was, but he put on an awful lot of weight to sort of combat this idea, because people put on weight and they lose weight all the time. That's just part of life. But, you know, in Friends, everyone just seems really attractive all the time, you know, and they seem to drink quite a lot, and they don't seem to have the healthiest lifestyles, but they never seem to, you know, put anything on. Now, you might be watching this and you might be thinking, this is just clearly a ramble from a complete and utter moron who doesn't really have any real data to substantiate his claims. And you'd be right. But just to defy the sitcom sort of cosmology, if you like, does that mean that I'm gonna become a better person and research my findings and come to my conclusions based on hard evidence and data? No, because it makes me feel a lot better when I get to complain about things that I don't really know all that much about. So, in conclusion, sitcoms are shite, and I'm right, and you're wrong if you disagree with me, and if you do agree with me, I seriously question your ability to make decisions. See you next week. Took me 10 minutes to do this. I'm sorry, I'm breaking the formula, but it took me 10 minutes to do this. You should be raging at the amount of, the tiny amount of effort that I put into these things. I mean, seriously, it's really quite ridiculous.